Myself Dr. W.B. Gangule from Kamlanil Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur. Today I am going to discuss the non-aqueous solvent. As we know, there are different types of solvent used for the preparation of solution or in the laboratory, and here the water is an aqueous solvent. Other than water are known as non-aqueous solvent. So here first of all we are going to see what is the classification of solvent. In that different types of classifications are there, and after that we are going to see some important liquid solvent like liquid ammonia, liquid SO2, and there's some reaction. So the today's topic is non-aqueous solvent, and in this non-aqueous solvent, as we know, water is aqueous solvent. Solvent other than water are known as non-aqueous solvent. So here as we know that solvent is a substance and which act as a medium for the reaction. As we know that it allow atom ion molecule of the different reactant to get dispersed in itself and facilitate the reaction. As we know that solvent are generally liquids, but substances in gaseous and solid state may also be used as a solvent, and there are important role of the solvent, and two important roles are there. One is it increases the speed of reaction. Second, it influences the course of the reaction. So first is it increases the speed of reaction. Here in this case we can say that example of this is when we mix powdered solid barium chloride and silver nitrate and allow them to remain together, the reaction between them take place very slowly. But if their aqueous solution are mixed, then the reaction is very rapid and the precipitate of silver chloride is formed, and this is the example. And in case of second, it influences the course of reaction. It has been also been observed that by changing the solvent, the course of reaction may be changed, and sometimes the reaction may occur or take place reverse. So example of this is in aqueous solution of barium chloride and silver nitrate react to give precipitate of silver chloride, but in liquid ammonia as solvent exactly reverse, the reaction take place. Therefore these two factors are the role of the solvent are these are the two role of the solvent. And next, water is the aqueous solvent, and solvent other than water are known as non-aqueous solvent. As we know that water is the most common and yet the most important solvent due to the some regions. The regions are given here and they have important properties. Number one, it is a very suitable it has very suitable liquid range from 0 degree Celsius to 100 degree Celsius at 1 atmospheric pressure. Second is that non-poisonous in nature. Third is that easy in the handling. Fourth is that ready availability due to great abundance. And number 5 is its great capacity to dissolve large number of organic and inorganic substances. And due to these properties, water has been recognized as a universal solvent. So water is the universal solvent. It is known as a universal solvent. And now what are the characteristics of this solvent? So important characteristic of generally the solvent have the melting and boiling point, heat of vaporization, chemical nature. So these are some important characteristics of these solvents. And after this, in the next slide we are going to see the classification, which is very important part of this non-aqueous solvent. So in this case we can classify the non-aqueous solvent into according to their property, and three different classifications are there. And first classification is this classification is based on proton donor and proton acceptor property of the solvent. On the basis of this classification, solvents are classified into three types, and these three types of solvents are protic solvent, and amphoteric solvent. So based on first classification, based on the property proton donor and proton acceptor property, the solvents are three types: protic solvent, the second is a protic solvent, and third is a amphoteric solvent. So number one is protic solvent, are also known as protonic solvent. So protic solvent are those solvent which are present in the water, and they are present in the water. So they are present in the water, and they are present in the water. So number one is protic solvent, are also known as protic solvent, are also known as protic solvent, are also known as protonic solvent. So number one is protic solvent, are also known as protic solvent, are also known as protonic solvent. So protic solvent are those solvent which have which contain a replaceable hydrogen atom, and or we can say that donor of proton, and these solvents are two types, acidic and basic. Acidic solvent also known as protogenic, basic solvents are also known as protophilic solvent. So here the protic solvent are those which contain hydrogen atom in their formula and donate proton, and are two types, one is acidic and second is basic. So what is meant by the acidic solvent? Acidic solvent also known as protogenic solvent, and these are the acids on the basis of Bronsted-Lowry concept of acid. They have strong tendency to donate proton. So these are the acidic solvent have strong tendency to donate proton, and they have example of this type is a hydrofluoric acid HF, acidic acid, hydrocyanic acid HCl, H2SO4 are the examples. And here shown these are the solvent which give proton. So here they give H plus ion. So acidic acid have replaceable H plus ion. HF also have replaceable H plus ion. Therefore these are the these are the solvent used as an acidic known as acidic solvent. So in this case now second type is a basic also known as protophilic solvent, and in this case of this solvent, these solvent have strong tendency to accept proton and also donate electron. An example of this type is ammonia NH3 C5H5 ferrocene amine hydrogen N2H4. So here see the example of ammonia. So this solvent has strong tendency to accept proton. So ammonia accept one H proton forming NH4 plus ammonium ion. So acidic are proton donor and basic are proton acceptor. So examples of acids are shown here, and ammonia accept proton become ammonium ion NH4 plus. And so these are the two types of first number protic solvent, and second is a aprotic solvent also known as non-protonic solvent. And aprotic solvents are those solvents which neither donate or nor accept proton. These may or may not have hydrogen atom in their formula, and example of this type is a CCl4 carbon tetrachloride, benzene, chloroform, SO2 are the example of this type. And so here CCl4 have no any hydrogen, C6H6 have hydrogen but not a replaceable hydrogen, and therefore they may or may not have hydrogen in their formula and neither donate nor accept proton. So this is the second aprotic. Aprotic means may or may not contain proton or hydrogen in their formula, and examples are given for this solvent. Third type is amphoteric solvent, and amphoteric solvents are those solvents which show both acidic and basic properties in certain complex like glycine. Acids and basic properties are shown by different molecule. So here example of these amphoteric solvents are showing both the property of acidic and basic. So here this is the glycine, and here is a replaceable H plus ion, therefore it is showing the acidic property. This is the glycine. Now this is added proton is added, now become NH3 and CH2 COH plus, so basic property. So proton acceptor is a basic property. In the similar way, now water also show both the property acidic and basic. So water give the H plus ion, can also accept H plus ion. So donor is acidic and acceptor proton acceptor is a basic. So these are the two examples of amphoteric solvent, and these are the solvents which show both acidic and basic properties. So this is the first classification based on proton donor and proton acceptor property, and there are three types based on this property. And the second classification of the solvent is based on like dissolve like. So this is very important. So like dissolve like property, and based on this like dissolve like property, the solvents are two types. One is ionizing solvent and second is non-ionizing solvent. So what is now ionizing solvent? Ionizing solvent also known as polar or ionic solvent. These are the polar in nature. These solvents are polar in nature and dissolve ionic compound. In this solvent, ionic reaction can take place. They do not show, they show self-ionization reaction. They have high dipole moment and dielectric constant value. Because of their polar nature, they have strong tendency to form associated structure. And example of such type of solvents are water, liquid hydrogen fluoride, liquid hydrogen cyanide, ammonia, liquid SO2, like that. So the self-ionization reaction shown here for the solvent of different types. So ionizing solvents are also known as polar solvents, and the ionic reaction can take place. And here this is the water, and water can dissolve, undergo self-ionization forming H3O plus and OH minus. In the similar way, ammonia undergoes self-ionization forming NH2 plus and NH2 minus. SO2 also undergo this forming positive and negative part. So these are the self-ionization reactions. So ionizing solvent undergoes self-ionization reaction. So like dissolve like means if the compound is a like dissolve like. So inorganic solvent dissolve in organic compound, organic solvent dissolve in organic, like that, like dissolve like property. So this is very important, and based on this there are two types of solvent, that is polar solvent and non-polar solvent. So polar compound dissolve in polar solvent, like that, and therefore name is given like dissolve like. So ionizing solvents are the polar solvent and dissolve ionic compounds, and they undergo self-ionization reaction shown in this slide. And the second one is a non-ionizing solvent, and these also known as non-polar or non-ionic solvent. These solvents are non-polar and dissolves only non-polar or neutral compound. No ionic reaction occur in this solvent. They do not undergo self-ionization reaction. Their dipole moment and dielectric constant value are very low. They have little associating and solvating tendency between the solute and the solvent. Example of this type is a benzene, carbon tetrachloride are the example of non-ionizing solvent. So these solvents do not undergo self-ionization reaction, but ionizing solvent undergoes self-ionization, and these solvents dissolve only the non-polar solvents. So like dissolve like property, there are two types of solvent, ionizing and non-ionizing solvent. Third classification is also there, and as we know the classification based on this, there are two types of solvent, aqueous, non-aqueous. Aqueous is a water, and non-aqueous other than water solvents are known as non-aqueous solvent. So example of non-aqueous solvents are liquid ammonia, liquid SO2, liquid bromine trifluoride are the examples. And now here these solvents also undergo self-ionization, and here water forms two types of ion, one here in this way H2O plus and OH minus. So this is acid and this is base. Ammonia also form two types of ion. SO2 also form these two, SO2 plus, SO3 2 minus. HF also form, and so these are the solvent undergo self-ionization, and these are the analogous group obtained from the self-ionization. So these are the analogous group obtained, and these are the solvent shows self-ionization of the self-ionization reactions. And now after this we are going to see the important solvent is there. What is that? The liquid ammonia as a solvent. And liquid ammonia, here we are going to see two important solvent. One is liquid ammonia and second is liquid SO2. And here some physical parameters are shown for liquid ammonia as a solvent. And here we know that liquid ammonia is one of the most important solvent studied after the water. It is a protonic solvent and is able to dissolve large number of substances. It is well known that liquid ammonia is a good solvent for many types of organic and inorganic synthesis, and also synthetic reaction in many such reactions. And some important physical parameters of this liquid ammonia are: melting point is 195.3 Kelvin, boiling point is 239, dielectric constant value is a good 22 at 239.6 Kelvin, ionic product is there, specific conductance is also there, means it forms a positive and negative ion, dipole moment is good, it means it indicates it is a polar in nature, latent heat of fusion is also there. So these are the some important physical parameters of the liquid ammonia as a solvent. And here after this we are going to see some important chemical reaction. Different reactions are there, but here in the syllabus three reactions are shown: acid base reaction, redox reaction, precipitation reaction. So as we know the different reactions, these three different reactions in liquid ammonia we are going to see what is the acid-base reaction, what is the redox reaction, and how precipitation reaction take place in the liquid ammonia medium, and similarly also in liquid SO2 medium. So today we have seen the what is non-aqueous solvent, example of non-aqueous solvent, and three different classification of non-aqueous solvent based on proton donor and proton acceptor property, second light disolvite property, and third aqueous and non-aqueous solvent. And after that we have seen some physical parameters of the liquid ammonia solvent, and here we are going to see the in the next part we are going to see the chemical reaction which are taking place in liquid ammonia and liquid SO2.